Okay, thank you. Myself, Manjunatha NK. I am going to take classes for engineering chemistry and engineering chemistry lab in this semester. So today is the first class for you, engineering chemistry. So first I will discuss with you what and all syllabus you have, what are the marks you have, how much internal, external and all. See, I shared a screen. It is visible for you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So coming to the engineering chemistry syllabus. So the engineering chemistry, it is an 100-mark subject in which you have a 40 marks for internal and 60 marks for external examination. So coming to the syllabus, in engineering chemistry there are 5 modules you have. First one is electrochemistry and energy storage system. Module 2 is corrosion and metal finishing. Module 3 is fuels, solar energy and fuel cells. Module 4 is environmental pollution and water technology. Module 5 is instrumental methods of analysis and nanotechnology. See, these are the 5 models you have in your syllabus, in engineering chemistry syllabus, in which first model is electrochemistry and energy storage system. So first model, coming to the electrochemistry and energy storage system. See, in this model we are going to discuss about thermodynamic functions, in which there are 2 thermodynamic functions in your syllabus. One is entropy and free energy. Next we are going to discuss about cell potential or EMF of the cell and how to determine the EMF of the cell. To determine the EMF of the cell, we are using one equation called as an Nernst equation and numerical on the basis of Nernst equation. So this is first one, that is use of free energy in chemical equilibrium. So next, coming to the next subtopic in this same model, that is electrochemical energy systems. So in this electrochemical energy systems, we are going to discuss about the electrodes, in which there are 2 types of electrodes in the syllabus. One is a reference electrode, for that one example Calomel electrode. Another one is an ion selective electrodes, for that one example glass electrode. So here we are going to discuss in both the type of electrodes, that is construction and working of Calomel electrode and construction and working of glass electrode. So next, another one subtopic in this, that is concentration cells. So this is another one type of electrochemical cell. So already in your PU level you studied electrochemistry, in that you studied galvanic cell and electrolytic cell, 2 types of electrochemical cells. So in which another one type of advanced electrochemical cells, that is concentration cells. So in that you are going to study one type of concentration cells, that is electrolyte concentration cells. So this is first unit in module 1, that is electrochemistry. The use of free energy in chemical equilibrium and electrochemical energy system. This is one unit in module 1. So coming to the another one unit in module 1, that is energy storage systems, means a battery technology. See, in this battery technology, we are going to discuss the introduction, how to construct a battery and what are the basic components present in a battery, and classification of batteries. There are 3 types. One is primary batteries are non-rechargeable. Another one is a secondary batteries. Secondary batteries are rechargeable batteries. Another one is a reserve batteries. Next, you have 2 example for secondary batteries in your syllabus. One is a nickel metal hydride battery. Another one is a lithium ion batteries. For that one example, that is lithium cobalt oxide battery. See, this is the second unit in module 1, that is energy storage system or battery technology. Is it clear? This is first model. I am going to start with this model 1, that is electrochemistry and energy storage system or battery technology. Is it clear for you, model 1? So this is the syllabus for model 1. So coming to the model 2, that is corrosion and metal finishing. See, here also there are two units. Unit 1 is corrosion and unit 2 is metal finishing. In which, coming to the first one, unit 1, corrosion. See, in the corrosion we are going to study about two types of corrosion. First one is wet corrosion and another one is a dry corrosion, and another one is factors affecting rate of corrosion. Sometimes whatever the metal we are exposing to the environment, it undergo corrosion, means there is a loss of metal, it takes place. For example, take iron. Once an iron metal it is exposed to the surrounding environment, after few days or after some time, there is a formation of iron oxide layer takes place on the surface of iron metal, that all of you observed. So here whatever the iron oxide formed on the surface of the iron metal, that is called as a corrosion. So in some time that corrosion it is observed very fastly, sometimes corrosion it is observed very slowly. So because of some factors. What? Someone was talking. Any doubt? Unmute. So this is the second model. First one is corrosion. In this we are going to study two types of corrosion, dry corrosion and wet corrosion. Next one is factors affecting rate of corrosion. Sometimes the metal it undergo corrosion very fastly, sometimes metal it undergo corrosion very slowly. That is because of some factors. After that we are going to study some different types of corrosion observed when a metal are exposed to the surrounding environment, in which there are three types of corrosion. One is a differential metal corrosion, another one is a differential aeration corrosion, and another one is a stress corrosion. So after that we are going to study some corrosion control methods. Whatever the loss of metal it is observed when a metal exposed to the surrounding environment, it also prevented by using some methods like in a metal coating or protective coating method or corrosion protection method or anodizing process, etc. So this is another one, first unit in model 2. So coming to the next, another one unit in model 2, that is metal finishing. So the metal finishing, it is one of the advanced technique which is used to improve the technological importance of the metal by depositing a one metal on the surface of another metal. So in this metal finishing, we are going to study some technological importance of the metal finishing process and whatever the techniques used in metal finishing process, in which there are two techniques. One is an electroplating process, another one is an electroless plating process. So in which we are going to study with example how to deposit a chromium metal on the surface of another metal by using electroplating process. First one. Second one, electroless plating process. For electroless plating process, we have two examples in the syllabus. One is an electroless plating of nickel and another one is an electroless plating of copper. So this is model 2 syllabus, that is corrosion and metal finishing. So coming to the next model 3. So in the model 3 there are three units. First one is in a chemical fuels, second one is in a fuel cells and another one is in a solar energy. So in which, coming to the first one, chemical fuels. So in these chemical fuels we are going to discuss about a definition for fuels, classification of fuels on the basis of origin and on the basis of occurrence. Generally the fuels are classified into two types. One is in a primary fuels and another one is in a secondary fuels. Next, another one is in characteristics of the fuels. So coming to the characteristics of the fuels, there are, in which one of the important characteristics of the fuel, that is calorific value. So in the calorific value we are going to discuss about two types. One is in a lower calorific value and another one is in a higher calorific value. Next, we are going to discuss about determination of that calorific value by using an instrument called as a bomb calorimeter and numerical on the basis of that calorific value. So in which next we are going to discuss about whatever the fuel we are using in our daily life in an IC engine or internal combustion engine, that is petrol. So sometime due to the presence of impurities in petrol, there is a knocking process it is observed. Means there is a rattling sound it is produced by an IC engine. So that process called as a knocking. So how knocking process it is observed in an IC engine and what are the mechanism it is involved in that we are going to discuss. So after that, next another one topic, that is an anti-knocking agent. To prevent the knocking process in an IC engine, we are using some chemical substances in a fuel. That chemical substances called as an anti-knocking agents. For example, power alcohol, unleaded petrol and biodiesel. So this is a first unit in model 3, that is chemical fuels. So after this, coming to the next another one, that is in a fuel cells. So coming to this fuel cells, so here also we are going to discuss about introduction, then the difference between fuel cells and batteries. And there are two examples in your syllabus for fuel cells. One is in a methanol oxygen fuel cell and another one is in a solid oxide fuel cell. So how to construct these two fuel cells and how it was working, how it converts in a fuel energy into a chemical energy present in a fuel into an electrical energy. This is next another one unit in model 3, that is fuel cells. So next another one unit in same model 3, that is solar energy. Means whatever the solar radiations coming from the sun, it is called as a solar energy. So that to convert solar radiation into an electrical energy, we are going to use one device called as a photovoltaic cell. So that photovoltaic cell construction and working we are going to discuss. And in same photovoltaic cell, we are using one semiconducting materials, that is a silicon. So that silicon it is synthesized by using one process, that is a union carbide process. So this is the syllabus contains in model 3, that is energy systems, in which chemical fuels, fuel cells, solar energy. So this is about model 1, model 2 and model 3. So coming to the syllabus in model 4. So the model 4, that is environmental pollution and water chemistry. So in this environmental pollution, we are going to discuss about the primary air pollutant which cause the major air pollution in the environment. So in which we are going to discuss about whatever the sources, whatever the effects and how to control that primary air pollutants in the environment. So for example, one is in a carbon monoxide, another one is in oxides of nitrogen, another one is in a sulfur oxide, hydrocarbons, particulate matter. These are the 5 primary air pollutants which cause the major air pollution in the environment. So in this environmental pollution, we are going to discuss about these 5 primary air pollutant sources, effects and controlling methods. So next another one subunit, that is a waste management. So generally there are 3 waste we are observing in the environment. One is in a solid waste, another one is an electronic waste or e-waste, another one is in a biomedical waste. So in which we are going to discuss about these 3 different waste sources, characteristics and disposal methods. So this is first unit in model 4, that is environmental pollution. After this environmental pollution, coming to the next another one unit in same model 4, that is in water chemistry. So in this water chemistry, we are going to discuss about first sources and impurities present in water, and one of the application of water which is used in industries during power production, that is boiler feed water. Means whatever the water which is used in the boiler for generation of tea, either in power production, it is called as a boiler feed water. So in which suppose whatever the water we are using in boiler, it containing some other impurities, it causes some disadvantages or boiler troubles. So here there are three types of boiler troubles are observed. One is in a formation of scale and sleds, another one is in a boiler corrosion, another one is in a priming and forming. So these three, in these three, in your syllabus you have two boiler troubles. One is in a scale and sludge formation and boiler corrosion. So details we are going to study. After this, we are going to study a sewage treatment and determination of pollution level of wastewater sample. So in which there are two methods are used to determine the pollution level of wastewater sample. One is in a COD and another one is in a BOD, means chemical oxygen demand and biological oxygen demand. So after that, we are going to discuss about some chemical analysis of water sample, in which in your syllabus you have two. One is in a determination of sulfate by gravimetric method, another one is in a determination of fluoride by calorimetric method. After that, we are going to study the sewage treatment, means how to remove the impurities present in sewage water or polluted water. To remove the impurities present in sewage water, we are going to use three steps. One is in a primary treatment, another one is in a secondary treatment, and another one is in a tertiary treatment process. So after this, we are going to study the softening of water by ion exchange method, means how to remove the metallic ions present in water sample. To remove the metallic ions present in water sample, we are using one method, that is ion exchange method. Next, another one topic, that is in a desalination of water by reverse osmosis, means how to remove the dissolved salt present in sea water, called as a desalination. A process of removal of dissolved salts present in sea water called as a desalination. To remove that dissolved salt present in sea water, we are using two methods. One is a reverse osmosis and another one is an electrodialysis, in which in your syllabus you have reverse osmosis. So that reverse osmosis process we are going to study. So this is the syllabus model 4, that is environmental pollution and water chemistry. So coming to the last, another one model, that is in a model 5, that is instrumental methods of analysis and nanotechnology. For the analysis of sample, we are using some methods. So in that we are using some advanced instrument. So whatever the analysis of the sample solution, it takes place by using some advanced instruments called as an instrumental methods of analysis, in which in your syllabus you have 5 instrumental methods of analysis. One is in a calorimetry, another one is in a flame photometry, another one is in atomic absorption spectroscopy, another one is in a potentiometry and conductometry. These 5 instrumental methods of analysis we are going to study, in which we will study about theory involved in that, one instrumentation and one application for this instrumental methods of analysis. So in these instrumental methods of analysis, in your regular lab you are going to perform, one is in a calorimetry, the determination of copper by using calorimetric technique. Another one is in a flame photometry, determination of sodium and potassium present in water sample by using flame photometry. Another one is in a potentiometry, also you are going to do, that is determination of FIS present in given unknown solution. Another one is in a conductometry, that is determination of an amount of acid present in given acid mixture. So this calorimetry, flame photometry, potentiometry and conductometry, these 4 instrumental methods of analysis you are going to do in engineering chemistry lab. So this is first unit in model 5, that is instrumental methods of analysis. So coming to the next, another one unit in same model 5, that is in a nanomaterials. So in the nanomaterials, we are going to study first properties of nanomaterials on the basis of their size. Next, we are going to study synthesis of nanomaterials, in which you have three methods. One is a Sanchal method, another one is precipitation, another one is chemical vapor deposition method. After that, we are going to study about some nanomaterials, in which you have three examples. One is a fullerenes, another one is carbon nanotubes, another one is graphene. These three nanomaterials, properties and applications we are going to study. So this is about model 3. Sorry, model 5. So this is about your syllabus, engineering chemistry. It consists of 5 models. Each model it consists of 2 units. It's a clear syllabus. Any doubt in this syllabus? This is about first engineering chemistry syllabus. So after this engineering chemistry syllabus, coming to the marks distribution. See, already I told you the engineering chemistry syllabus, it is an 100 mark subject. 40 marks you have an internal assessment. 60 marks you have an external examination. In which coming to the first 40 marks internal assessment. See, like already in first semester you know the internal assessment marks. In this, we are going to conduct 3 internal tests for 50 marks. Whatever the marks you scored out of 50 marks in 3 internal tests, it is reduced to 30 marks. After that, we are giving 3 assignments. Each assignment consists 10 marks. We are going to take average of that for 10 marks. Total, we are going to allot 40 marks by taking 30 marks from internal test. 10 marks from assignment. This already you know because already completed first semester. Next, coming to the external examination. The external exam, it is conducted for 100 marks. Out of 100, how much you will score? It is reduced to 60 marks. So then they will announce the result. The 60 marks of semester end examination, external exam, 40 marks for your internal assessment. It's a clear? Any doubt in this? So this is about first one, that is in a syllabus and mark distribution. So in which I will start with today first model, that is model 1. Environment, electrochemistry and energy storage system. So today I am going to start with model 1, electrochemistry. So the electrochemistry, it is defined as electrochemistry. It is a branch of chemistry which deals with the study of interconversion of chemical energy into electrical energy and electrical energy into chemical energy. The electrochemistry, it is one of the branch of chemistry, and in this electrochemistry we are going to discuss only how to convert, how electrical energy is converted into chemical energy, or how chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. The study of interconversion of either chemical energy into electrical energy or electrical energy into chemical energy, it is called as an electrochemistry, in which the interconversion of energies, it takes place through an redox reaction. Suppose in a system or in a device, once there is a redox reaction, it takes place. That redox reaction indicates that in that system or in that device, there is a conversion of either chemical energy into electrical energy or electrical energy into chemical energy takes place. The study of these interconversion of energies, it is called as an electrochemistry. Then what is redox reaction? So coming to a redox reaction, A reaction in which both oxidation and reduction reaction takes place simultaneously, it is called as redox reaction. In which reaction both oxidation and reduction reaction it is observed simultaneously, that type of reaction it is called as a redox reaction. Then first coming to the oxidation reaction. What is oxidation reaction? Suppose in a species there is a loss of electron takes place. That loss of electron it is called as an oxidation reaction. See here there are some oxidation reactions. For example, general oxidation reaction, if you consider M means in a metal. You take in any metal, once it undergo oxidation reaction, it will converted into a metal ion, that is Mn plus, with liberation of its electrons, that is N electron. For example, you take in a zinc. Once in a zinc metal it undergo oxidation reaction, it is converted into a zinc ion, that is Zn2 plus ion, with the liberation of its 2 electron. These type of loss of electron by a species during a reaction, that is called as an oxidation reaction. Or you take another one example, that is in a lead. Once lead metal it undergo oxidation reaction, it is converted into a lead ion, that is Pb2 plus ions with liberation of 2 electrons. Or you take another one example, that is in a silver. Once in a silver metal it undergo oxidation, it is converted into a silver ion, that is Ag plus ions with the liberation of electron, liberation of 1 electron. So these type of a loss of electrons by a species during a reaction, that is called as an oxidation reaction. This is a first reaction which is observed during a redox reaction while converting either chemical energy into an electrical energy or electrical energy into a chemical energy. First one. Coming to the next, another one reaction which is observed during a redox reaction, that is reduction reaction. So the reduction reaction it is defined as a gaining of an electron by a species called as a reduction reaction. Suppose a species it gaining the liberated electron by some other metal or some other species, that type of reaction it is called as a reduction reaction. See here there are some reduction reactions are there. First we consider a general reduction reaction. So here one thing you need to remember, the oxidation reaction it takes place by it observed on a metal, but the reduction reaction it takes place in a metal ion. See in this oxidation reaction, first metal converted into metal ion with the liberation of electron, means an oxidation reaction it is observed in metals. But in the case of reduction reaction, the reduction reaction it takes place in metal ions. So first Mn plus a metal ions like in a zinc ions, copper ions, silver ions, lead ions, lithium ions, etc. Once that metal ions it gain the liberated electron by some other species, it is reduced to a metal. So these type of reactions it is called as a reduction reaction, that is a gaining of electron by a species. For example, you take a zinc ion. Once zinc ions are gain the liberated 2 electrons, it reduces to a zinc metal. So these type of gaining of electron by a zinc, it is called as a reduction reaction. Or you take another one example. Once in a copper ion, that is Cu2 plus ions. If the Cu2 plus ions gaining the liberated electron, that is 2 electron, it is reduced to a copper metal. Or you take another one, that is in a lithium. The lithium ions once gain the liberated electron, that is 1 electron, it is reduced to lithium metal. So these type of gaining of an electron by a species called as a gaining of electron by a species called as a reduction reaction. It's a clear, these two, oxidation and reduction reaction. In electrochemistry, we are going to study only one thing, that is interconversion of energies. Here there are two interconversion of energies we are observed, two types. One is an electrical energy into chemical energy or chemical energy into electrical energy, in which both the type of interconversion of energies takes place through a redox reaction only. So coming to the redox reaction, a reaction in which both oxidation and reduction reaction takes place simultaneously, called as a redox reaction. In which, coming to the first one, oxidation reaction, loss of electron by a species. See, this is the first equation, is the general oxidation reaction. These are the three examples for oxidation reaction. Here one thing you remember, in this oxidation reaction, the metal is converted into metal ion with the liberation of electrons. Second one is reduction reaction, that is gaining of electron by a species. The first equation is the general reaction for reduction reaction. In the reduction reaction, metal ions gaining the liberated electron and reduce it to a metal. Means a reverse of oxidation reaction is the reduction reaction, that you remember. This is the first one example for a zinc reduction reaction. Once in a zinc ions, it gain the liberated 2 electron, it is reduced to a zinc metal. So these types of gaining of electron by a species called as a reduction reaction. It's a clear oxidation reaction and reduction reaction. Any doubt in this oxidation and reduction reaction? Because this oxidation and reduction reaction is very important for you. Because whole electrochemistry and energy storage system, it mainly depends on these two reactions only. In the, you have next numerical on the basis of Nernst equation, where they will ask first you to write cell reaction. In that you are going to write oxidation and reduction reaction. Therefore, this oxidation and reduction reaction is very important. Is it clear for you? Unmute and talk. Any doubt you can ask. Unmute. It's a clear?
Yes, sir.
So this is first one, that is oxidation and reduction reaction observed while interconversion of chemical energy into electrical or electrical energy into chemical energy. Which the interconversion of chemical energy into electrical energy or electrical energy into chemical energy, it is studied by using a device called as an electrochemical cells. The electrochemical cells are the device which is used to study the interconversion of energies. And these electrochemical cells are defined as, these are the devices which converts chemical energy into electrical energy and electrical energy into chemical energy, called as electrochemical cells. Means whatever the devices are having ability to convert chemical energy into electrical energy and electrical energy into chemical energy, that type of devices, it is called as an electrochemical cells. In these electrochemical cells, there are two types of electrochemical cells. One is in a galvanic cell and another one is in a electrolytic cell. These are the two types of electrochemical cells. First one is in a galvanic cell, second another one is an electrolytic cell. In which, coming to the first one, a galvanic cell. The galvanic cell, it is defined as, it is an electrochemical cell in which chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. Whatever the electrochemical cells are having ability to convert only the chemical energy into an electrical energy, that type of devices, it is called as galvanic cells. For example, dry cell or Daniell cell. You take a dry cell or Daniell cell, In the case of dry cell or Daniell cell, there is in one container zinc sulfate, in another container that is a copper sulfate is there. This already you studied in your PUC, that is construction and working of galvanic cell, in which whatever the chemical energy present in that, it is going to convert into electrical energy. So these type of devices, it is called as a galvanic cell. Or you take another one example for galvanic cell, that is discharging process of a battery. During discharging process of a battery, what happens? Whatever the chemical energy stored inside that battery, it is going to convert in electrical energy. So these are the some examples for galvanic cell. So these type of devices having ability to convert only chemical energy into electrical energy called as a galvanic cell. For example, dry cell or Daniell cell or discharging process of a battery. Coming to the next, another one type of an electrochemical cell, that is an electrolytic cell. The electrolytic cell, it is defined as, it is an electrochemical cell in which electrical energy is converted into chemical energy. Whatever the electrochemical cells are having ability to convert whatever the electrical energy into a chemical energy, that type of devices, it is called as an electrolytic cell. For example, Nelson's cell and Downs cells. These are the two examples for electrolytic cell where the electrical energy is converted into chemical energy. It's clear? This is about next another one, that is the device which is used to study the interconversion of energies, either chemical energy into electrical or electrical energy into chemical, that is electrochemical cells, in which there are two types of electrochemical cell. First one is a galvanic cell and another one is an electrolytic cell. First one, coming to the galvanic cell, a device having ability to convert chemical energy into electrical energy called as a galvanic cell. For example, dry cell. Second one, coming to the electrolytic cell, a device having ability to convert electrical energy into chemical energy called as electrolytic cell. For example, Nelson's cell and Downs cell. It's a clear electrochemical cell and types of electrochemical cells.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So after this electrochemical cells types, coming to the first one, the galvanic cell, the construction and working of galvanic cell. How to construct a galvanic cell? And how it converts chemical energy into an electrical energy. See, this is the Daniell cell. It is an example for a galvanic cell. See, this is one Daniell cell. So first, coming to the construction of this Daniell cell. Coming to the construction of this Daniell cell. See, the Daniell cell, it consists of two containers. See, this is one container and this is another one container, in which one container it is placed on left hand side, another one container it is placed on right hand side. In which, coming to the first one, in a left hand side container, see, this is in a left hand side container. The left hand side container, it consists of one zinc electrode or zinc rod which is immersed in a zinc sulfate solution. See, this is a zinc electrode or zinc rod, and this zinc electrode or zinc rod, it is immersed in zinc sulfate solution. This is zinc sulfate solution. This is in left hand side container. Coming to the right hand side container, the right hand side container, it consists of one copper electrode or copper rod which is immersed in a copper sulfate solution. See, this is in a copper electrode or copper rod. This is in a copper sulfate solution. In this copper sulfate solution, this copper electrode it is immersed in right hand side container, and both the left hand side and right hand side container it is internally connected using a salt bridge. See, this is a salt bridge which is used to connect both the containers internally, and both the electrode it is connected externally using a metallic wire with voltmeter. See, this is the voltmeter. This is the construction of a galvanic cell, means a Daniell cell. A Daniell cell it is an example for galvanic cell, in which it consists of two containers. One is placed on left hand side, another one it is placed on right hand side, in which the left hand side container it consists of a zinc electrode immersed in a zinc sulfate solution, and right hand side container contains a copper rod immersed in a copper sulfate solution, in which both the container internally connected using a salt bridge and externally connected using a metallic wire with voltmeter. This is the construction of a Daniell cell. It's a clear construction. Here, coming to this salt bridge it is defined as it is a connection between two solutions that allows movement of electrons from one container to another container. Any doubt in this construction?
No, sir.
So this is first construction of Daniell cell. So this is the construction once you go through it. After this construction, next coming to the working of galvanic cell. See, in the galvanic cell there are two containers, one is placed on left hand side, another one is placed on right hand side. In the left hand side container it consists of a zinc electrode immersed in a zinc sulfate solution, in which first whatever the zinc metal present in its zinc electrode it goes into an oxidation reaction, it will give zinc ions with liberation of electron. Therefore this zinc electrode it is called as an anode. Anode means an electrode where the oxidation reaction it takes place, it is called as an anode, in which once the electron is liberated in the left hand side container due to the oxidation reaction of zinc, that liberated electron move towards another container through this salt bridge takes place. Once electron it is moved towards this another container, that is right hand side container. In the right hand side container there is a Cu2 plus ions are present. Whatever the Cu2 plus ions are present, it gaining the liberated electron, it is reduced as a copper metal on the surface of this copper metal. So once copper metal it is deposited, the voltmeter start to fluctuate. So these fluctuation it shows that conversion of chemical energy into electrical energy through the redox reaction. In this way, in the case of galvanic cell, there is a conversion of chemical energy into electrical energy takes place. See, this is the reaction which is observed in the galvanic cell, that is in the Daniell cell. At anode, the anode reaction means in the left hand side container, whatever the zinc metal is there, it undergo oxidation, it gives zinc ions with the liberation of electron. Here whatever the electron is liberated, that electron move towards the cathode through the salt bridge, means to the another container through the salt bridge. In the another container there is a Cu2 plus ions. So that Cu2 plus ions gaining the liberated electron, it is reduced to a copper metal. Once the reduction reaction starts in the right hand side container, whatever the voltameter is present, these voltameters start to fluctuate. It shows some value. That value indicates conversion of chemical energy into electrical energy due to this net reaction. It's clear? See here, we are not mentioning an oxidation reaction or reduction reaction. We are writing here anode reaction and cathode reaction. Means anode reaction means an electrode where the oxidation reaction it takes place, it is called as an anode. So at the zinc electrode oxidation reaction it takes place, therefore zinc metal called as an anode. This you remember in your mind, because next onwards we are going to call an anode reaction or anode metal or cathode metal like that. We are not mentioning oxidation reaction or reduction reaction. Wherever the anode it will come or anode reaction it will come, that indicates the oxidation reaction. Wherever the cathode it will come or cathode reaction, that indicates the reduction reaction. Because anode means an electrode where the oxidation reaction takes place, called as anode. Cathode means an electrode where the reduction reaction it takes place, called as a cathode. It's clear? Any doubt in this? Any doubt in this construction and working, you can ask. So this is about introduction to the electrochemistry, that is definition of electrochemistry. Next another one is types of electrochemical cell. Types of electrochemical cell, two types. One is a galvanic cell, another one is an electrolytic cell. Next one is one example for electrochemical cell, that is galvanic cell, construction and working. It's clear? Any doubt in this, you can ask. In the next class, I will start with cell notation, cell convention, EMF of the cell, Nernst equation.